What's up? If you hear, what's up? Oh, what's up? There he is.
What's up, my brother?
How you doing? How you been?
Man, blessed, man. It's a pretty good day, man. How about yourself?
Uh, just been taking it easy today. Just got a property under contract and finishing up a project. So it's one of those days I didn't have to do much. I need to edit some ads, but other than that, it's been a good day, man. I ain't been doing one of those easy days.
When you say got a property under contract, you mean what you about to buy it, you about to flip it?
Oh yeah, I'm not really doing no more rentals no more, just because like the tenants, like the juice is not worth the squeeze with the tenants in Chicago. Say for instance, Georgia. I think Georgia is like it used to be traditionally a red state, but now it's like, I guess with Stacey Abrams, it's more getting kind of blue. But anyway, I want not to get into politics, but like say for instance in Chicago, it's a blue state. So like say all the tenants had the rights. So like if you need to evict some people in Chicago, it's just like, man, it's like pulling teeth. It's just really hard. So I just been doing straight flips. I've been getting rid of my rentals, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with rentals, but I've just been getting rid of them and just doing straight flips. So I got a property under contract today, and well, not today, actually last week. So we were getting it for like 117. Probably put in realistically about $55,000 to $60,000 into it and sell it for 240. Well, 240 is what the numbers say right now, but you know, we're approaching the summer months, and you know things get a little bit higher then. So we're looking to get like 250. Set some records in this area.
No, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah. So what about yourself? What were you on today?
Man, today, man, was pretty chill for me as well, man. Just ran some errands. Today was pretty much errand day for me, man. Honestly, I ran a lot of errands today, man. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I didn't really do. I ain't really do too much, bro. This is like a chill day for me, honestly, man. Errand day. It's kind of like a Saturday.
Mm-hmm. I feel
Yeah.
you still been have you been enjoying I know have you been enjoying the morning meetup?
Yeah, I joined it. Today was my first time participating in about a month or so. But yeah, I'm pretty much on pretty much most of the time. You know, especially to get those last minute gems. You know, the reinforcement. You know, today was Jose Day, so you know, as I'm preparing to release my coaching program and my courses and everything, you know, sometimes you need that extra bit of advice when it comes down to creating content and stuff like that. So definitely, I logged on today. What about yourself?
Man, I ain't been on in a minute, man. I probably haven't been on since January. I had went to Mexico for my birthday, and man, that just kind of threw me off track. And then, to be honest, I just was like, man, I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't feeling that book. We should all be millionaires. And then it's just like I kind of tooled off, man. And plus, when I wake up, I'm gonna be honest, man. I just feel like it's kind of turned more to like it probably still is this way, man. I feel like it's kind of like to give a good comparison. It's like a church. I feel like it's like church. You know how everybody in church like they always trying to make jerking for you got your deacons, you got your mother. I'm like, bro, I'm here for the game and information, and we kind of getting lost in that. Like, and I wasn't really feeling it, but I might hop back in there. I'm looking to, man, I've been waking up and getting straight to it. To be honest, like, I've been reading though. I'm looking to get into to YouTube a lot more, and sorry, my tenants like they lost my train of thought. I'm looking to get into YouTube way more. So I've been reading this book called The YouTube Formula. So I'm still reading. It's just like I'm not reading the books from the morning meetup. The thing that kind of kept me coming back to the morning meetup actually was the book club. But you know, I've been on my own wave, man. Like shout out to Dave. Man, he put me onto a lot of game, and that's how we met. Is through the morning meetup and the content creators boot camp. I think I saw you at the first morning meetup too. Yeah, you were at the bowling alley because we were chopping up at the bowling alley. But
Yeah.
with no further ado, let's get right into this, man. Let's get into this e-commerce.
Let's get into it, man.
Mr. Bamazon. So basically, I'm gonna explain what I do first. So what I do in e-commerce is it's pretty much drop shipping. So drop shipping is this. We sell products on Amazon. Like let's just say this light right here. We sell this light right here on Amazon for $20. But let's just say we get it from Walmart for $5. So that means that's $15 in profit. So basically we have Walmart. Walmart's gonna ship it to the customer. and we'll get the money. We make the $15 in profit. Now, granted, Amazon takes about 15%, I think, maybe more. I forgot how much they take, but 15%. And then you do the 15% minus the everything, you get your profit. You never had to have any product, you never had to have any inventory because Walmart shipped it. So that's drop shipping in a nutshell. That's what I do. I mean, granted, the profit margin is not like $10 or $15 per product. I don't even look at the profit margin. I'm at the point now. I have an established team. They take care of everything, and we really just collect checks. It's a great thing, to be honest. One thing I will say is that there is risk with it, though. The biggest risk is that drop shipping goes against Amazon's what would you say that word is?
Policies.
Yeah, they're I was thinking like SOPs or something like that, but they're
Yeah.
policies. So yeah. So if you do get caught, the risk you run is having your money tied up with Amazon. But for me, I mean, I'm rolling dice. Fuck it.
So like, all right, quick question, bro. So when they fulfill the product, all right, so is that fulfillment by Amazon or fulfillment by merchant?
It's
Because it
fulfilled by
goes
it's fulfilled by merchant. It's all fulfilled
okay.
by merchant because Walmart's taking care of the shipping, so it's all fulfilled by merchant. FBM. So yeah, I know you do, but the guys, man, it is a profitable business. The things that we're trying to move towards now, to be completely honest, they want to get me to do it, but I just been hearing a lot of horror stories. Like, I don't know if you know Rob, but I was talking to my homeboy Rob the other day, and this first dude I was going to with my drop shipping e-commerce store, he was like about to, well, they're switching to everybody's switching to FBA, but man, from what Rob was telling me, man, this man spent like 27,000 in product, and he's only gotten back like 7,500. So they're trying to move towards FBA because it is risk, but it's like with FBA, if Amazon messes up on the shipping, they eat it. If anything ever goes wrong, it's on Amazon. It's not on us. Now,
Yeah.
granted, there is some downsides to. I would say the biggest down thing that I've seen with drop shipping. I don't really go through the emails. I'm telling you, man. I look at spreadsheets and I collect checks. I'm not really in the weeds of this no more. At first, it was exciting, but now it's just like we just collect checks. But we've been getting a lot. Like I was telling you the DMs the other day, we're getting a lot of returns, man. Like, I don't know what the heck is going on, but we do get a lot of returns, and it's just really, really annoying, man. So that's drop shipping. So to answer your question, it's fulfilled by merchant. So
No, that's what's up. I mean, I've been doing some research as far as the returns go. People just don't care. When it comes down to it, they say that there are more returns online than in store. And every major retail store from Walmart to Target or whatever, they got a lot of returns as well. So it's just kind of, you can't really do much about the returns. But how does that affect? So what happens after a return is made? So like, is the product already paid for? Does it go back to, do they return the product, or do you just let it sit in the inventory of Amazon?
well, that's a great question. Sometimes customers do return it, but a lot of people. Another thing, like as far as when like say for instance, like earlier this year when the supply chain was really really messed up,
Mm-hmm.
people were saying they weren't even receiving products. Like, so I guess I don't know, man. Sometimes we do, like sometimes we'll tell them to keep it because sometimes, so I'm like some sites that we source from, like Walmart's not going to be the only site that we source from, but some of them are like, they'll say just keep it. Like say for instance Amazon, a lot of times if it costs them more to pick up the product, they'll tell you just keep it. We don't care because it costs them more to come pick up the product than it does for you to like ship it to them and everything. And if it's like a fragile product, like say for instance dishes, they're not gonna really, they just gonna be like, all right, you keep it. So sometimes I do receive them, but a lot of times like we'll still, man, how to explain this? So on the drop shipping, the returns are like, man, basically we, man, it's so like I haven't mastered it, and the thing is I'm not really in the weeds of it. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I got you.
I'm gonna tell you this: the biggest reason why we get into drop shipping is this: we get to spend a lot of money on our credit cards, pay them off, and I receive a profit. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I got into the game for. The returns were going crazy. Now, one thing I do know with the returns, like say for instance, I was just on vacation last week and I was in Orlando and I still got a $19,000 deposit. You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
and I'm able to pay the cards off, pay my team for what they do, and we still receive a profit. So the biggest thing is like the credit card rewards and the credit card sign up bonus. But it's been a lot of, to be honest, man, I hate doing this, but at the same time, I feel like the grass is a lot greener on your side of the fence because you already can calculate how much your profit is going to be. And like you control everything in your own destiny. And I seen the whips you drive. I seen the watch you have on your wrist. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Money Man.
Yeah.
He's in drop shipping as well too. But I mean, it makes money. But at the same time, like we are rolling the dice, and it's like, how long am I going to be rolling the dice? And I know my girl wants to know like a lot of what you do, but I hate to be like that grass is greener. But you're sending your stuff to Amazon, so it's like once you're to Amazon, it's all in Amazon's control. So they take a lot of the responsibility. But the shipping shit been driving me crazy, man. What's up? What up, man? We supposed to link Money Mitch, but I know he was doing his own store too. But yeah,
Okay.
so let's talk about the arbitrage. So explain what arbitrage is.
Arbitrage is basically when you find a product in point A, whether it's online, in store, or locally, and you sell it to point B for a profit. So the three forms of arbitrage we have is on retail arbitrage. So that's if I go inside of a store like Marshall's or TJ Maxx, or if I search the clearance aisle of the Target and I find an item that's profitable online, whether I'm using eBay, Amazon, Poshmark, or so on and so forth. Online arbitrage works in the same way, only you're flipping items from one website to another one, to another website. So for instance, if you go to a website like if you go to Dick's Sporting Goods and you search that clearance aisle, you find the items that are profitable on Amazon, that you can flip on Amazon. That's online arbitrage. And the third one is called local arbitrage. I made that one up. Local arbitrage or street arbitrage. When you basically buy things from people locally and you flip those online. So say for instance, back when I was in college, when I first started, one thing I used to flip back all the way back then was like textbooks. I noticed that the bookstores every year would have a long line of students willing to get rid of their textbooks at the end of the semester. And I found out you could sell those, I found out those textbooks can go for the high on eBay. Because that's where I used to buy my books from. You know what I'm saying? It still was like lower than retail price. But for the most part, I used to always buy my books online on eBay. So when I started selling on eBay and I found out how much the bookstores were willing to pay these people, which is pennies on a dollar, I started doing that. So I started buying books from the kids locally, and I would flip those online, like on eBay. So I call that local arbitrage or street arbitrage. It's pretty cool. I've been doing this since 2008, I want to say. Everything does have its pros and cons. One thing about, when you're purchasing items or whatnot, you can't end up with a whole bunch of items, a whole bunch of inventory, things of that nature. So it's really key that you really, it's really key that you pay attention to your numbers, to your inventory. And when it comes down to it, you got to learn how to use these tools and systems. That way you're making the best buying decision and things of that nature. A few pros is fun. You know what I'm saying? It's fun, when you're doing like, for instance, retail arbitrage, it can be fun and you can build relationships directly with people as opposed to, as I'm not sure how it works on your end, but, for instance, myself, I've been doing this for a while to where I actually have managers from certain stores. They'll reach out to me and say, we got a big stock of this particular item that you bought a lot of. You know what I'm saying? They're here. You might want to catch this, while we have those in stock. Recently I got into online arbitrage and I'm working on my way to, creating a blueprint for automating the online arbitrage process. Because like, for instance, everyone doesn't have a Marshall's next door or a Target down the street or, outlet stores 30 minutes away. Some people live in the middle of nowhere, you know what I'm saying, to where they have to do online arbitrage, you know what I'm saying? So right now I'm working on a blueprint to where, to where I can just like step 1, 2, 3, this is how you do online arbitrage. That way it's like, you save more time. For one, you save a lot of time because you don't have to go from store to store. You don't have to pay gas. And, people can do it from anywhere for the most part. And to take it even a step further, I'm also combining a list of different fulfillment centers that will process your order for you. So say, for instance, I ordered you know, 10 notebooks from Target. And, you know, I bought those with intentions of flipping those on Amazon for or whatnot. You know, they have a lot of fulfillment centers that will fulfill your products, you know, and you only have to pay them like a buck here and a buck, you know, a buck per product, per item. So I'm working on right now a blueprint to automate the whole process when it comes down to online arbitrage and whatnot. It can be, you know, it's pretty lucrative, like you said. But if you know, starting off, really honestly starting off, if you start off as a reseller, I encourage people to shop their house, you know, shop their house or, you know, make it kind of risk free. What I mean by shop your house, you know, find books, you know, lying in your closet or find some, you know, shoes or clothes that you just don't have any use for and start there. Or, you know, start off thrifting. That way that way you're not paying a lot for your inventory. You know, if you go to a thrift stop, it's damn near free. Like the items are damn near free. Or if you shop in your house, it's items that you already, you know, got in your closet that you have no use for. You just probably sentimentally don't want to throw the items away. You know, I don't like to throw, you know, no one likes to throw anything away. So anybody starting off, I suggest you shop your house because there is a learning curve with some of these platforms. Like for instance, Amazon. Amazon is not the most user-friendly platform. And in fact, to be successful on Amazon, you have to use a lot of third-party extensions and apps and tools. You're making the best buying decision. You can analyze your products.
What's some
Just straight
tools? What's some
Amazon, it's kind of
what's some tools? Like I never heard of these third party tools before for like selling.
yeah. So it's a bunch of them. So
Which
the
ones do you
number
use the
one,
most?
yeah. All right. So if you're doing, arbitrage, the number one tool that you have to have is Keeper, you know, unless you get, pay for more expensive software that has all of this information included. So Keeper, Keepa, Keepa, it's a website that you can use to track things like sales rankings. And basically sales rankings is kind of like, ranking in sports. You know, the person that got the number one, oh yeah, there you go. That's
Mhm.
it. Keeper. So Keeper, you can track sales rank over a period of time. Sales rank is like the number, if you ever use Amazon app and you search for a product, it'll have a sales rank. The higher the sales rank, the worse the sales.
Okay.
But I can literally, so say for instance, this pen right here had a sales rank of 400,000. Meaning it's not in the top 1%. It's at, and you always want to try to find items that are in the top 1% of sales rank. Because the sales rank can get pretty high. It can get to the millions. So say for instance, this pen was on Monday was 400,000. But I just sold but 10 of these were sold between Monday and the day. The sales rank drops every single time there's a sales made. So you want to use Keeper to make sure that the sales rank is constant, it's consistent. You know what I mean? Like as opposed to just lucky. An item get lucky and sell today. Not saying the item is lucky, but the sales rank might be fugazi if if the item never sells and it sells today, the sales rank might be great today, but if you look at Keeper, it might not have been great yesterday or for the past 30 days. So number one, you track sales rank over a period of time. And it's a bunch of reasons why you can use Keeper, but I'm gonna give you the methods I use it. So track sales rank over a period of time, track pricing over a period of time. So for instance, you don't want to buy an item. You don't want to buy an item. All right, so say for instance, I looked this item up on eBay and it's going for. I'm gonna throw out a crazy number. Say it's going for $10. You know what I mean, for a pack of these pens or whatnot. A pack of pens, $10. They might be going for $10 this season, but if you track the pricing over 90 days, you could have seen you may notice that these same box of pens might have been selling for $3 most of the year or whatnot. But it might be, for whatever reason, it might be a spike in the price and demand that make the price go up. So like an example of that would be like holiday items or seasonal items. When you buying a Halloween outfit, costume, or whatnot, the price gonna be retail price, during September, October. But the rest of the year, nobody really buying Halloween costumes like that. So the price will be way lower. So you want to use Keeper to make sure the price isn't fluctuating just based on seasonal factors or whatnot. So track sales rank, track pricing, and the third main reason that I use Keeper is to track the buy box. You familiar with the buy box?
Of course, we always competing for the buy box.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to make sure that you're able to compete for the buy box. So for instance, if I'm looking at an item, the sales rankings pretty cool, the price pretty cool, the profit margin pretty cool. But Amazon got 100% of the buy box.
Oh yeah,
I'm
you
not
just posted about that. You just posted on
exactly
yeah,
for
don't compete with
sure, for
Amazon.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon don't like to share, man. Like they skip kindergarten or something like that, man. Amazon don't like to share, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if I see an item, um, and it says that Amazon controls the buy box, meaning in the past 90 days, 30 to 90 days, they're the only one that won the buy box and they got, more than one seller, then that might be an indication that that product might, it still can sell, but for the most part, Amazon controlling the buy box,
How often
it's
does that
like,
happen?
huh?
How often do you run into that problem with Amazon?
Very often, pretty often. It's like a 50. It's really like half the time. You know what I'm saying? Like half the time I find a good item. I say at least 35% of the times I find a profitable item. And I do my research on Keeper or whatnot. Amazon might have, 100. If it says 100% or 99% of the sales on buy box, then I take it. I take that punch to the stomach and just move to the next product or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And
You know what's crazy though is that like Amazon has the capability to like do that for everything. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
they do.
I remember like I forgot like it was maybe years ago where say for instance they were people like sellers were complaining on the internet left and right because Amazon was just like butchering them and it's like damn let us eat bro come on
Yeah, man.
yeah
They don't like to share, man. They don't want. They ain't gonna give you a piece of that cornbread, man. They're not
uh,
gonna do that. So like,
somebody just I hate to cut you off but somebody said where did y'all learn to read keepographs. I don't read keepographs. Maybe my
yeah,
team does.
I don't. I mean, I don't really. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just honestly, just playing with the graph. So if I'm looking at it for price, they have tick marks. It's pretty simple. I just look at the only things I look at is price and seller rank. The rest of the features, I just I don't really look at the rest of the features so much. But if you just look at a chart, there's I think one side gonna have the sales rank, the other side gonna have the price, or it might be the price at the bottom. No, the price might be on one side, the sales rank might be on another side. I just take a glance at it. I just kind of take a glance and I kind of go from there. I'm not an expert at reading the graphs because I'm only looking at three things. You know what I'm saying? So, somebody else, they might be looking at more factors. They might be looking at more when it comes down to the keeper graphs. That's the reason why I use it. But, they have, the app has, the app and the extension has way more. They have a Chrome extension as well. So if you download the Chrome extension and you're on your laptop, whenever you're on a website, like whenever you're looking at a listing and you scroll down, you'll be able to see all the keeper information and whatnot. But I'm only kind of looking at three different things, and this kind of comes from experience, just playing with the app over and over again. And all of the experts, most experts will always recommend using the Keeper graph or the Keeper app or extension to make a buying decision or whatnot. So he said, "What is the biggest factor?" What did it say? It said, "What was the
What's
biggest
the biggest
factor in
factor for
stealing the
stealing?
buy box?" Um, when it comes down to stealing the buy box, see the thing is, like I said, it's rare that I compete with Amazon. Most sellers use automatic pricing tools that automatically lower your price as as so a lot of people use pricing tools to where if the buy box price or the price of the item drops, then it'll automatically reprice. So I mean, as far as stealing the buy box, I'm still doing research on how to steal the buy box. Not that I want to be a thief or anything, but at the same time, we can't let Amazon have all the fun. But to be honest with you, man, I just pick my battles wisely. I'm not gonna really too much fight against Amazon. If I see they control 100% of the buy box, um, I try to stay away because even if I try to go and compete with Amazon based on like pricing, once like decreasing the price of the buy box doesn't always guarantee to win. And they call it a race to the bottom because like I say, Amazon, they have a repricing tool as well. And if everybody's competing with the buy box and everybody's driving the price down, they call it a race to the bottom. You know what I mean? Like basically whoever can afford the loss the most.
And
So
who's gonna be that? The $1 trillion, industry is gonna be able to. I mean, to able to absorb that the most, and that's what people were complaining about on the internet is how Amazon was just being ruthless with them. So my question to you, Bam, is this: like, what are the possibilities as far as like arbitrage? Like, I know one thing I learned about you today was that you said that you started this in college. I didn't know that about you. That means you've been doing this. I've been out of college for a while now, like almost 8 years now. So, like, selling textbooks. When did you see your first like month? You were like, damn, I'm sold. Like what were those numbers like?
all right, so so in college I always used to do like flips. Honestly, when honestly, I noticed the numbers on a yearly from a yearly basis. So it didn't really honestly, bro, it didn't really hit me until around like 20 let's say 2013, 2014, when I started receiving 1099s from eBay and PayPal. It didn't really hit me until then, bro, until they showed me my 1099s, and it was like, wow, I made over a couple $100 grand. And even when I factored in my profit margin was always pretty high, because of the
Consider
thing,
high for a profit margin.
like 100%. 100%. I was like, a lot of the items I was buying, especially back then, I was doubling my money. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I was going straight, like I was doing more so. So I didn't really start Amazon until 2016. You know what I'm saying? So when I was flipping those textbooks, everything up until 2015. No. So my first time doing Amazon was 2015, but I didn't. It took me about a year to get everything right. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't really hit me, bro, until I started receiving 1099s saying that, claiming that I made 200,000 and things of that nature. It really didn't hit me because I was just kind of going with emotion. So that's like that's the first time I really noticed, what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? When I started receiving it, when I had to pay those taxes for it, bro. When I had to pay
That
those,
doesn't, but that doesn't factor the cost of goods sold though.
it doesn't.
Exactly.
But you have to. But I wasn't really up on my accounting back then. I was kind of like half-assing it. So it took. So I had to get basically when I started needing help with my taxes. You know what I'm saying? Because I found
Yeah,
my
that
own
makes
tax. When
sense.
I started needing help, that's when I noticed. I was like, okay, you got something going on. And I went really. So it was really a hustle up until like 2014. Because I'm still trying other things out, you know what I'm saying? And I flip things not only on eBay and Amazon, but every marketplace, Craigslist. Um, yeah,
Posh,
Craigslist. All,
did you ever do Poshmark?
yeah, I'm on Poshmark right now. Poshmark pretty dope, bro. I'm not gonna even lie. It's real user friendly. It's much easier to list items on Poshmark than the other platforms.
Is
And
that where you do a lot of your? I know I see you in call. I be watching you, man. You really got me in tune. Is that where you spend a lot? I mean, sell a lot of your stuff that you go to Kohl's for?
Um, so Kohl's is more so most of the time I do Kohl's. Kohl's I send their stuff to Amazon. So
Okay.
um, Poshmark is more so like All right. So for instance, I can't sell designer on Amazon. I don't have a wholesale account with Gucci or Louis Vuitton. I'm not gated. I'm not ungated to sell like Gucci, Louis Vuitton. So say for instance, especially like used products as well. So Poshmark is more so so normally when I list the item on eBay, I might cross promote it on cross promote like the clothing items on Poshmark, but Poshmark is more so like clothes, more so clothes, used clothes. If I like I said, I still do local arbitrage. Like people call me all the time, like, man, I got these Yeezys or I got these Jordans I don't want to wear no more, man. You want to take them off my hands? So it just kind of depends. So as far as Poshmark, a lot of women's clothes, a lot of used clothes, a lot of used designer and things of that nature. Um, consignment. I have like sometimes people will come at me and say, I got a bag that I want to get rid of. I might not see the need to buy that bag based on my purchasing criteria. I might not see the demand for that bag as far as I need that bag in my store. So I might just say I can list it on my website and I split we'll split it up 40, 60, they get 60%, I get 40%, and I just gotta pay fees out of my 40%. and I do it that way, consignment sometimes. But for the most part, Poshmark is more so um, used clothes, handbags, a lot of designer. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of designer I put on Poshmark.
So let me ask you. You said your criteria. So you said back in the day you were seeing 100% profit margins. Are you still like, you still seeing 100% profit margins now?
I do, but not every purchase. For the most part. So all right. So for the most part, the lowest profit margin that I aim for is 30%. You know,
But that's
30%.
that's like that's like in any business. I feel like 30% is like that typical like, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when you said profit margin. I was hoping when you said, I was thinking you were gonna say 30%, but then you said it would be, you said 100%. I was like, oh damn, you were really seeing really good profit margins.
Yeah, yeah, man. Especially back then when it was less competition and less, you know what I'm saying? It was less, the competition wasn't even the same back then. And it'd be more than that sometimes, bro. Like I might buy a textbook from someone back then for like $20. You know what I mean? Somebody just trying to get beer money or club money for the night. And that same textbook might go for $80 on eBay. Minus the fee, that still made $60. So that's 300% right there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the used items I sell, so a lot of the used items I sell, or when I buy things like just locally from people, those profit margins are typically higher, but they might not sell as fast. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool. So I
For
still see
someone,
margins like that sometimes, but for the most part, do you need to get ungated for every item, or do some items not have a gate? For the most part, most items on Amazon you have to get ungated for it, but of course not all of them. A few brands I can say like Izod, you don't have to do that. What's another one? Um, Izod. Hmm.
people still buying Izod.
I don't sell Izod, you know what I'm saying, but some people do. I would have to be honest with you, I would have to look at my list, you know what I'm saying, as far as things that aren't gated. And there's a lot of things that you can get auto ungated for. I got a couple of tweets where I talk about that. When we have all this live, I share a few tweets of items that aren't gated. You know what I'm saying? That are
Talk about that. So what's the ungated process like? I've never really, and one thing I never told you, bro, is that like when I was in college, I used to go to this place. It's like in Ridgeland. I went to high school in Mississippi, and it was a place in Ridgeland called Dirt Cheap. And I used to go there, and it was a dude named, I think I told you about this last time we went
yeah.
live, but it was a dude named Resale Rabbit. This
Okay,
dude,
yeah, you remember.
yeah. But I was buying the Kodak film, and I would buy it from the store, and I sold it on Amazon, and my dad was
Yeah,
shipping it for me. Like I used to do this, and I used to go to garage sales and everything, and like buy board games. The board games
yeah.
sold, but
I'm glad you said that. So like the garage sales and your thrift stores, those are the stores where you source like that. That's why I tell people to start off, because it's way you spend less money and you can like 5, 10 extra money sometimes, and you can learn the whole process as far as selling. But nah,
but
that's
also
dope.
Amazon doesn't even charge. Like it doesn't charge. Well, I'm gonna say this. This is back in like 2013, 2014. Like Amazon doesn't charge you to list the products either. You know, if it's fulfilled by merchant. So I was just listing them and I was getting sales, and that was my first time actually competing. It was so funny because everything that you're talking about, I was actually competing with people. Like I sell my film for like $14.99, and somebody will come and be like $13.29. I was like, it was so fun. Like this was actually so much fun. And this is
Man,
like I
that's
was
back, man.
hustling.
Back in the day, eBay auctions. I'm gonna talk about gating in a second. So back in the day, eBay auctions were like real lit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking like that was the way to go. Nowadays, I'd only do an auction if it's a very hot item and I know it's gonna go through the roof, like a pair, like a rare pair of Jordans or a rare pair of Yeezys, or an item that no one said, like an item that's like not listed anymore, that it's not for sale anymore, like discontinued. I mean. Um, and I don't really sell a lot of used items on Amazon. I pretty much stick to eBay. I suggest anybody you starting off reselling and you just kind of trying to learn everything. I always encourage both eBay and Amazon, just so you don't put all your eggs in one basket. But the ungating process, like a lot of these brands, because a lot of because of the counterfeit issues and things of that nature that some brands see, like Nike, they want you to be a professional seller when it comes down to selling on Amazon. So the ungating process, if you have an item And if you got your sellers app, you scan for the item and it says request to sell. For number one, I always hit request to see if they really mean business or not, because you could get an auto ungated, meaning, this happens to me every day. I might be inside of the store and, I pass by a cool item, and it might tell me that I needed to request approval. But when I use the app and I hit the request button, I might get auto ungated when it just automatically approves me. But for every other item that's not auto ungated, you can either do one of two things. You can either go directly to the manufacturer, or the brand owner, the rights owner, and you can request permission in the form of a letter, and you can send that to Amazon. I've never done that before. What I always do is I find a website. I always find a website that you can use that acts as a supplier, and I use that to get ungated whenever they. So when you order 10 units, all right. So say, all right, let me start over. Say I want to get started selling Starbucks. I'm gonna share with you guys exactly how I got ungated to sell Starbucks. I went to a website called bulkofficesupply.com. It might be wholesale.bulkofficesupply.com. And you can use this website to get ungated in quite a few brands. You find a brand that you want to get ungated for. You find one particular item. This item doesn't really have to be for sale on Amazon, but it would be, it would be better if it was, for the simple fact that you still want to sell that item. So, like, for instance, if I bought I bought 10 like Starbucks straw. It's like a straw, like a dispense straw. I don't even know what they use it for. You know what I'm saying, honestly. But I purchased 10 of those items. You got to purchase 10 or more of a specific item or brand that you want to sell. So I bought 10 of those straws, and so when I purchased those items, they sent me an invoice for that item showing that I purchased 10 units of that particular item. Amazon wants you to have an invoice showing that you bought 10 units of that particular item, and that item was not even for sale on Amazon. It was just more so the brand that I'm getting ungated for. But that particular product wasn't even for sale. But I could have listed it if I wanted to. But me particularly, I don't create new listings on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. There's nothing wrong with doing it. But for number one, if it's not listed on Amazon, it's not already a demand for it. And, more than likely, so I just sold those straws on Amazon. I'm on eBay. I purchased 10 of the items. I purchased 10 units of the item. They gave me an invoice. The invoice showed that I purchased 10 units of that particular item. And it also, they also want to make sure that it has all of your information, like your name, your phone number, or, like your name, your address, that's the same as your seller account. And it has to be 90 days or younger, so if you have an invoice that's 100 days old, it's not going to work. 90 days or less.
My question to you, Bam, is this: can't you finesse that?
I can't encourage nobody to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's America. You can finesse everything in America, man. You know what I'm saying? People, they had some people trying to finesse PPPs a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? If they was getting away with that, I'm pretty sure you can finesse Amazon. Now the thing is, you don't want to get caught finessing Amazon, because it'd be sad if they shut your account down. But no, I can't encourage it, but I'm pretty sure you could. But
because I was just thinking it's just an invoice, like that's what I was. That's what I was thinking. But my bad. So my boy Casey doesn't do it. They have a team of investigators. All right, appreciate you, the monster. Do you have to pay taxes on the resales? I was just about to get to your question, Casey. But do you pay the taxes on the resale? He said, "How do the taxes work? How do the taxes work?"
Man, I can't ever give tax advice, especially because different taxes are applicable in different states. Every state has different taxes. So I always say, man, consult with an accountant. When it comes down to it. I give you another tool in a second that helps you track inventory and cost of goods sold and things of this nature. It says, do you pay taxes on the resale? It says, do you pay taxes on the resale? Like I said, that's an accounting question. For the most part, you want to talk to your accountant about taxes and things of that nature. Because I don't want to say yes and then, I don't want to say no and then those specific taxes. What I will say this: when I purchase items directly from the store, I use a resale certificate where I don't have to pay sales tax. And when it comes down to it, some websites collect sales tax for you. But like I say, you want to make sure that you get with your accountant when it comes down to those tax questions. But to help with taxes, all right, so I'm gonna give you guys another tool. And just finishing up with the ungated thing. So you provide an invoice showing that you purchased 10 or more units of that particular brand. Y'all wanna notate this, man. Bulkofficesupply.com. I'm gonna add that in the chat. That's an ungating website that you can use to get ungated in quite a few things, man. That's what I use to get ungated in both Crayola and Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? And those are two big money makers for me.
I remember you made a post about this too. So go through Van. I mean, he posts pretty consistently, but I remember you made a post about this before. So bulk office
Yeah.
supply. I'll pin it.
Yeah, bulkofficesupply.com. So you purchase 10 units or more, you should supply Amazon with the invoice, and within 24 to 48 hours they will normally approve you. If they don't, make sure you read the instructions again and make sure you submitted the invoices properly. And I'm gonna answer two questions. I'm gonna answer two different questions now. So back, a few minutes ago you asked me what tools I use. Keeper was number one. It's another cool app for this specifically for Amazon. It's called Inventory Lab. So it's if you're gonna list a lot of items and you're making money, that's another must have because it allows you to it helps with the listing. Like without without Inventory Lab, you got to do a lot of back and forth. And like as far as listing, you might have to list the item with your phone, then you might have to relist that item with your computer, or it's just a lot of Amazon is not
I can't hear you.
site, so
Oh,
a lot of third party.
never mind. You came back. You came back.
I came back. Somebody called me. Um,
Oh, okay.
you know how that goes. So Amazon, man, Amazon is not the best website when it comes down to user friendliness. So a lot of the third party tools and extensions is what's going to help you in your business. Like I was saying before with Keeper. So Inventory Lab is another one. Like it can literally cut your listing time in half. You know what I'm saying? Like literally like the time it takes to list. And not only does it, so you list items with Inventory Lab, but it also does another thing. Whenever you're listing an item, they ask you questions like how much did you pay for the item? Where did you buy the item? And it tracks everything like as far as like you can use it to track where you bought the items from, how long it took item to sell. You can export spreadsheets. So if when it comes down to tax season, you can send that spreadsheet to your accountant, and you can also use that as an indicator as far as what you need to keep on buying. So like for instance, I use Inventory Lab to show me which specific coffee I need to keep on buying. That way, it makes it a little easier next time. You know what I'm saying? Like I know exactly what item to replenish. So
That's awesome,
Inventory Lab,
man. I
yeah,
bet that helps a lot with taxes too.
yeah, nah, for sure, bro. Inventory Lab, Keeper, and the third app that I recommend is Seller Amp. Seller Amp, AMP, Seller Amp, and you can use this to like whenever you scan an item, it will tell you if the item is in the top 1% of sales rank. It'll tell you how many of those items sell every single day or a month. It'll tell you an estimated time frame as far as flipping that item. It'll tell you if it has if that particular brand has any IP complaints. Basically, sometimes you list an item that Amazon approved you to list, and sometimes the brand owner will come back and hate on you and tell you basically they don't want you to sell their item, and they'll give you an IP complaint. It'll tell you things like if Amazon's on a buy box or not. So, and it also has a keeper chart infused in it, so you can connect that with your keeper chart. And oh yeah, and it's also cool. Like if you're doing online arbitrage, you can literally highlight an item, and you can right click it and tell Seller Amp to look for that item on Amazon, and it'll pull it up. It'll pull everything up, and it's only $20 a month for like each of these services. Like I think Inventory Lab is like $49. Keeper is like a dub a month, and Seller Amp is like a dub a month, $20.
Does Seller app have a iPhone app?
They got an iPhone app and an extension. It's
I
dope, bro.
I don't see it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, bro. So like, if you go to the website and you hit download the iOS, that's how I found it, bro. Um,
Okay, okay.
type in SAS, type in SAS, and see if it pops up.
Uh,
Seller app.
SAS on you talking about the App Store?
Yeah, in the App Store. If you type in SAS, let me know if you see it pop up.
I see no.
Type in seller app SAS to see if it pops up.
Seller and SAS.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, but that stands for software as a service, don't it? Seller.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, bro. When I first did it, something I don't know, something weird happened to where it didn't even let me find it. And then like I had to go back into the website version, and I had to go that route. You know what I'm saying? It might be a way I can share the app. It might be a way I can share it. You know what I'm saying? But
So you said, okay, I got seller app. I'm just seller app, and the second one was inventory.
man, all right. So yeah, seller app is like the ultimate product research tool. Inventory lab is like the best inventory management software slash listing software, for people like us, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have a big warehouse, but you want to track your inventory, your sales, and your numbers, that's the way to go. And Keeper, you know what I'm saying? Keeper's a must have as well. They got a free version of Keeper, but I'm not sure. I can't remember what features it came with. But those three are the only ones you need. You know what I'm saying? They got other programs out there, but I just haven't tested them out. You know what I'm saying? They got quite a few more. They got something called they got tactical arbitrage. They got this thing called BuyBot Pros, BuyBox or BuyBot Pros, something like that.
I'm gonna just go with what you said because I know you're in the trenches every day, so I just took screenshots of those.
Yeah,
But
nah, for real. And I'm gonna share the seller app with you as well, man. Let me ask you a question as far as drop shipping, bro. So when you going, so you said Walmart, you actually went through like you was actually buying items from Walmart, or was that an example?
yeah, so I don't give. It's only like 11 people on here, so we source a lot of our products from Walmart, but sometimes Walmart knows when you're drop shipping because you're doing so much volume, and like the average person is not doing that much volume. So we use Walmart. I heard of people we use Walmart a lot. We use Sam's Club a lot, and
Okay.
honestly, what a lot of people are moving towards too now as well is we use Amazon Business Prime as well too. So those are our three people that we source from. A lot of people use Costco for bigger items as well, but
Mm.
that's what we source from. That's the people that I heard the most of: Sam's Club, Walmart, Amazon Business Prime, and Costco.
Do you have to have a wholesale account?
With we just get like a normal account, like the normal, like you go to the store and get. That's what we get for drop shipping. So
I
y'all
got you.
can't y'all can't say I didn't tell y'all the information, but man, what is so like? Say for somebody who goes all in, what should they expect to earn their first month? Like what'll be a good month?
All right. So to be honest, man, the first month it might take a month to set. Like when it comes down to setting up um, Amazon, your first month, bro, you probably not gonna make anything because it might take you about a month to get everything set up. If somebody was to go all in, bro, a good month just depend. I mean, it always comes back to how many products you're buying and the type of products. But if somebody know what they're doing, it's really all right. So it's up to how much you spend. So if you spend 5 grand on inventory that month, well, all right. So look, all right, um, profit wise, somebody that's been in the game 2 3 months, you know, to be honest with you, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna probably be like around that 5,000 mark. I'm saying somebody hit the ground running, it might, because I mean at the end of the day, it's such a learning curve when it comes down to buying things of that nature, especially with arbitrage. The people, once you mastered everything, bro. So 5 grand profit is good, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you've been in the game like a month, 2 months, and you know all the tools, you got all the systems, 5 grand a month or more for the average person would be cool. You know what I'm saying? Once you start making around that much consistently, and you start knowing exactly what products to buy, because I still do arbitrage when it comes down to local deals, but I've been stepping more into wholesaling. And like I told you, I'm trying to come up with a blueprint to automate everything. So I'm also working on fulfillment centers. Um,
So when you say fulfillment centers, are you talking about third party fulfillment centers, or are you talking about Amazon fulfillment centers?
Not so third party. So even third party fulfillment center. So say for instance, you sourcing from a wholesaler or Walmart. You can know, and you doing it at scale. The goal with that would be to send everything to a third party for like if you want to be hands off, laptop in your boxer briefs on the beach somewhere, then you can't touch the products if you want a beach. So you would have to send those items from a wholesaler or a supplier to a third party fulfillment center. And they've got some great ones out here. They will only charge you like $1 per item to where it's
So
still profitable.
that's what we're trying to move to as well. But I just the risk is that you, like I told you, that you're spending the money on the front end. You know,
Mhm.
that's and it's like you don't want. And that's one thing I've been in the back of my mind. I wanted to ask you, like, how often is Amazon hitting you with fees as far as like being in the warehouse?
You mean like for items that are just sitting?
Yeah.
It takes a few months for them to start charging you storage fees. So
Okay.
they don't start storing charging storage fees off top. It's like a few months down the line. So all right, so like what I do is I consistently check the items that aren't selling, and in order to prevent me from paying fees on the warehouse like storage fees, I might end up like lowering the prices of some of my items in order to
Mm.
like get a faster sale. Sometimes I request my items back and I sell them on another platform. Now they will charge for that sometimes, but I don't really have the fee sheet calculated in my head at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, all right. So I do exercise different business models. So well, different platforms. So Amazon's one. I love Amazon because I can just focus on sourcing and that's it. eBay is my second, platform of choice. A lot of those items they don't sell as fast as Amazon, but for one, everything's in house, so I don't have to pay any type of storage fees. And when I sell an item, I don't have as many fees taken out. And a lot of the items that I have on eBay, I have like a 70 to 100% profit margin. It just take for sometimes it just takes a while to sell those items. So I use different platforms, bro. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, I use different platforms. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I don't even use a platform. I know people that own stores the way I can just send them directly, send them direct inventory as opposed to having to list the items. You know what I'm saying? Typically, those margins aren't as high because I'm sourcing for other people. But for the most part, I have so many different business models. I just try to watch it. I just try to water everything down to where people that's just starting can understand as opposed to confusing them with this, that, and the third or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody asked, "Do you box?" I'm guessing they're asking, "Do you box your products?" I'm not sure. It was in the
Um,
questions.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I box. So I box before I send them to the warehouse. I box the items and I list the items. I pack the items and things of that nature, and I send them straight to the warehouse. They do have options to where they'll do it for you. Well, not they won't ship your items for you, but like what I mean by I prep my items, like I put items in poly bags, I put labels on the individual products, and I send them off. They do have options to where they'll do it for you. Like for instance, 15 cent, they'll add labels for you. Poly
And
bagging.
when you say they, you're speaking about Amazon, right?
Yeah, Amazon, my bad. Yeah, so Amazon, like I pretty much handle because it don't really take me much to put a sticker on the item. But if you didn't have a label maker, like a label printer or whatnot, then Amazon will charge you like 15 cent. I can't remember how much they charge you to poly bag your items or whatnot, but you can pretty much you can pretty much pay them a small fee to prep your items for you, to prep your items.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, so what makes you want to get into? Is it more so you can automate things that you wants to get you to where you're like at that wholesale level?
Yeah, I mean, man, to be honest with you, bro, I have a few different goals when it comes down to Amazon. I'm just like at the end of the day, I don't mind having more than one trade, but I don't want to be the jack of all trades. I like to have partnerships. So even when I do real estate, I'm no longer doing it all by myself. Like for instance, I had a younger brother, he does real estate. So like right now, most of my other streams of income, pretty much all of my other streams of income are passive. With Amazon, I'm trying to make that passive as well, but I don't mind being active in the business until I learn different business models because all right, so arbitrage is pretty easy for me at this point. Wholesale, I'm still mastering that process so that I can teach, others and as well as make as well as get that laptop, Wi-Fi on the beach money. Then after that, man, I want to learn. I want to learn more about private label. I know all about private label, but actually executing a good launch and things of that nature is what I want to, get mastered.
I
That
do
way,
that.
that way I can go to you and say, you got a passion product. Okay, let's put this out to the masses. You know what I'm saying? I can help my minorities, my brothers and sisters out, things of that nature. Yeah.
They say private labels where that's where you become a millionaire on that private label. That's
Yeah.
where
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just got more attractive exit strategies. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh yeah, because
um,
you can sell like yeah. I was on the phone with a guy who was talking about that. Somebody asked your biggest mistake you see newbies on the biggest mistake you see with newbies on Amazon. That's a great question for that.
um, the biggest mistake, buying items and not knowing, buying items with no purchase criteria. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I first started, man, I was buying items that I bought a couple of items I wasn't approved to sell. Luckily, I always use eBay as a backup. I had a lot of cheap items like toys. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a whole bunch of toys that cost like 10. Like I wasn't even paying attention to the fees. Like I would be looking like, okay, it's going for $4 in Walmart. It's for $12 on Amazon. It's a no-brainer. Man, I get home, man, and the fees. After I pay fees, I'm making $2 for that item I paid $4 for. And then, I'm not knowing how much the item's selling for. So, the biggest mistake newbies make is just going in there buying stuff with no type of criteria. So that's why I always recommend, at the least, I recommend Keeper. If you don't have enough money, if you just get in the game, you don't want to spend money on Inventory Lab or Seller Amp, at the least use Keeper. At the least use Keeper and understand how to use your Amazon Seller app. You know what I'm saying? Like you can use your Amazon Seller app. They have a calculator that will tell you estimated fees you'll have to pay. And you can see sales rank and things of that nature. So hell, if you don't have any additional money, just know how to use the seller app to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest mistake is buying stuff, man. Buying stuff and the stuff not selling. You know what I'm saying? Like even if it's sold, I'm losing money. And you know what I'm saying? That type of stuff.
So somebody, my boy, when he mentioned earlier, he asked, "Have you ever heard of this app called Amazon Scout, AMZ Scout? Have you heard of that app?" He
Yeah,
asked
I
about
heard
that.
it. I heard the AMZ Scout. I haven't used it. You know what I'm saying? I think I might actually have it for free with one of the softwares I use. I see it a lot online, and I heard it's a pretty cool, reliable tool. I just, me particular, I just haven't used it.
Gotcha, gotcha. And it's funny he asked that in the questions too. 'Cause he asked earlier, but man, is there any this is so interesting. Time's flying, but we've covered a lot of bases. Do you have anything that you can plug right now for people to tap in with you with, or get started as far as like being mentored under you?
Man, so all right, I'll be completely honest with you, brother. I'm working on my program. Look, I was supposed to be done with this I was supposed to be done with this program like months ago. I'm literally working with Boone Duke. You know what I'm saying? Boone Duke.
Shout out to Boone Dude.
Shout out to Boone Duke. He my Facebook ads guy. He literally finalizing everything today. So by the end of this week, I should have a launch date, and I should start. I should have a funnel. I should have everything set up to where you guys can. As of right now, man, just make sure you keep on tuning in with me and follow me on YouTube, and just make sure that you stay close and connected. That way, whenever I have any type of any information available, you guys can be the first to access that.
Somebody said you guys do OA. What's OA on Amazon? I'm not
Online,
familiar.
that's online arbitrage. So
Oh, gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, of course, man. So like I do both retail and online arbitrage. They both got pros and cons. Like online with retail arbitrage, I guess the biggest pro with that is just being able to connect with real people. That way, I don't have to always be on a hunt. It's kind of like people like I literally try to build relationships with as many managers as possible. That way, when they have certain stock of things, they'll contact me. You know what I'm saying? Online arbitrage is pretty cool, and it's much easier to scale that because, for instance, if I wanted to replace myself as far as like someone going inside of a store and purchasing items to flip, it's not as easy as opposed to hiring a VA to manage things like the buying process and things of that nature. So I use VAs all the time, virtual assistants. I normally go to Fiverr, and it can be simple. It can be as simple as telling somebody on Fiverr to find 3 profitable items from one particular store. They might charge you $5, $10. You wake up in the morning, you have a list of items to buy. Another thing you can do is join Bolo groups. If you go to Facebook and type in Bolo, it stands for Be on the Lookout. Those are a bunch of people that have recommendations of items that you could be buying, or they might have some intel on items that are restocks, discontinued, or just ridiculously low price. A cool if you want to do OA, a cool if you want to do OA, online arbitrage, a good tool to have on your side is brickseek.com. And what they do is they find items in stores like Walmart, Home Depot that are significantly lower price. And also make sure you're good at couponing. Rakuten, Rakuten, I want to say. That's an extension that goes to different websites and tracks discounts. So if I go to a random website, they might show me like all the coupons related to that website and things of that nature. So yeah, I do a lot of online arbitrage to answer that question.
So with online arbitrage, that's when you buy it, but it comes to you. You ship it to yourself.
It depends. You know what I'm saying? You can ship it to a fulfillment center. And if you ship it to a fulfillment center, I always recommend shipping it to a fulfillment center. Shipping it to a fulfillment center that's in a tax-free state. And somebody said, "What do you know about the Ace and Gadget Pro?" I've never heard of that before. I've never heard of that before, ever. But yeah, for the most part, you can ship it to yourself, and I do that sometimes. I ship it to myself most of the times, but you can ship it to a third-party fulfillment center, and they'll fulfill your items for you. You know what I mean? For the most part, so yeah.
So I mean, gotcha. I guess what we do is online arbitrage as well. It's the same.
It's kind of the same thing. Only yeah, it's kind of the same thing, bro. They go hand in hand, dog. They go hand in hand. It's really the thin line, bro. Let me ask you a question. How do y'all know what products to buy for Amazon? Y'all got like a virtual assistant, a team of people to help find the right products?
So yeah, they take care of everything. I have a team of like 6 or 7 VAs to where it's a whole.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's why I told you it's like, it's really just it's on autopilot now, man. To where they just buy the stuff and they take care of the shipping, and it just goes to the customer. And I get paid from Amazon every 2 weeks. So
yeah, you can request payments too.
I know, but when you request the payment, it messes up the schedule.
Yeah, it messes the schedule up. How'd you end up hiring your VAs, bro? Did you get a recommendation? Did you go through a company?
Man, I just went through so what happened was this. I was going through a guy that he shall remain nameless, but I paid him like 18 racks or something cash to do my store for me.
Oh, okay.
He was BSing me. He kept BSing me. So I was like, man, I got my cash back. And then from there, using a lot of online sources. One thing I'm gonna say is we live in a global economy now. It's no excuse for on the internet you could do a lot of things. And I just found my guys and kind of just rolled the dice with them. And I've spent like a fraction of what I would have spent to do, pay the next man. That's one thing that in this world, say for instance, I felt like during COVID, in the peak of COVID, man, e-commerce was just, man, it was, because nobody was going to stores. So
yeah,
it was like colossally big. But at the same time, you saw people popping up left and right, selling Walmart stores, selling Amazon stores. But I took it into my own hands and said I was going to do my own stores so that way I can sell them. But I haven't been promoting selling them that much because we've been working out the kinks. We're trying to work out the kinks of everything because I'm not trying to sell somebody a store and it be shit. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, it cash flows, man. It cash flows amazingly. I would say last month we probably made about 6 bands. Our stores gross. So that's one thing that people don't talk about on the stores. Say for instance, people, they'll show you their numbers on the stores, like, oh, my store did such and such. But like, say for instance, to do $30,000 in sales, it may only cost us like $16,000 to actually have $30,000 in sales. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 16,000, that means you accumulated 14,000 in profit. But as you know, at $14,000 in profit, you're gonna have returns. And also Amazon's taking, I want to say it's 15%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the brew, yes, I drop ship. So 15% of 30,000 is 4,500. I think. Yeah, it's 4,500. So that's hotty toddy. I don't know how she knew that, but I guess I don't know. But that's why I went to college for someone. She said hotty toddy, but so that's 4,500. So you take 30,000 minus 4,500. What is that? 25.5, right?
Yeah.
25.5. Then it took you 16,000, but you're gonna have returns. So you might have like 2,000 or 3,000 returns. So you might make you might make 8,000. But that's good bread to just be not doing stuff. But you got to pay your team too. So I'm not gonna say what I mean. If I sold you a store, it'd be a 60-40 split, 60 for you, 40 on us, because we're doing everything. But yeah, that's just basically how our format and structure goes. So, but you still got like a lot of things that my store was. I mean, the best that we've been doing right now is about 30,000 a month. I have one client, and last time I checked, he was at 34,000, and he's killing it. On the 26th, he has a $19,000 payment coming, and look, I don't know, you're probably familiar with these type of metrics like ODR, order defect rate.
Yeah.
So I just had like a thing with Amazon where they wanted me to go through an ODR, like make sure that my compliances were all right, and you have it's all different type of compliances and things with Amazon, but ODR is really huge, and there's other stuff I can't think of right now because I'm just on the spot. But,
okay, so you actually help other people build their stores
for a price.
Now, that's what's up. So they were saying, they say, and I don't, I'm not sure if it's in stone or not. So they say when you sell someone a store, and it's like like when it's already cash flowing, they say you can 30x the monthly cash flow and charge that. But I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? But
I've heard that. I heard that from the dude on the morning meetup who that dude Jamie, the white guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Nah, I think I remember him.
Yeah, he was talking about that, but I don't think you can do that for like drop shipping because, with Amazon, it's only one person per social security number or IP address, I guess, because you go off IP address. And
for sure.
So, but that's not something I've been pushing too much, just because, man, when you're working with people, bro, it's just I feel like you're so much responsibility, and it's like, man, I'm getting to the point, man, I just want to be a golfer.
I'm trying to tell you, man, for real, man, a golfer.
You got the analogy, like.
Nah, I know, bro. I know exactly what you mean, bro. Just go out there, golf, and come back. Wake up in the morning, check a couple of numbers, go out golfing, eat lunch, come back, check the rest of the numbers.
Yeah. So, but what I mean by like, with my comparison for a golfer or like a tennis player is like everything is just like relying on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have other people to answer to. It's just like we do this, we do that. How often do you drop it? I mean, I don't know, man. We've been going strong since October with ours drop shipping, and I mean, we're not gonna speak deactivation on us. So, but that's the risk. That is the risk that you take with drop shipping. You can't deactivate it.
Nah, but
your money's tied up with Amazon.
I will say this though, as far as the pro, it seems like, because like I told you, it took me like a year to get the Amazon right. So it seems like if you know what you're doing, the success from drop shipping came pretty fast. Because I mean, honestly, until somebody been in the game a couple months, I might not be quick to encourage someone to be willing to spend 10, 20 grand on inventory. And by the time they are, I'm probably gonna more likely suggest like wholesale. You know what I'm saying?
But that's say for instance, we do spend, like, that's what they're trying to move us to now, because it's just. But I mean, I don't want to get into the details on the live, but you know, that's where they want us to move towards. It is the wholesale, to where we buy them wholesale and we send them to Amazon, and then Amazon takes care of the rest. That's what they want to move to, because drop shipping is getting tougher and tougher. What you got to realize is this: Amazon is what? Let me look up their market cap. Like, you know, like, let's go to stocks. It's $1 trillion, probably $1 trillion company. You know, like $1 trillion market share. They have the best of the best of the best technology, and you know they're letting it ride. I mean, because they make money. They make 15% off of. Ain't that the fee that they take 15%?
Yeah, they take 15%.
Yeah.
You
So
got to
look,
factor in things like weight. Like if you're going through FBA, you got to factor in that weight and size too.
See, that's over my head. But
I sell a lot of lightweight items, bro. Like the heaviest item I like to sell are like shoes. Like sometimes it get heavier than that, but for the most part, that weight has a strong impact on fees. I like more than likely, bro. I like to sell things like t-shirts and caps, honestly, because they're real lightweight, and you know, I can fit a lot of units per box.
that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, man, I'll tell you what, man. This hour and some change kind of flew by, man. We were going back and forth, man. You really, like, my girl's been trying to get into this game, and she be in tune with you. I mean, you met her at the Content Creators
Yeah,
Boot
for
Camp.
sure.
Oh, yeah, I think you saw her at the bowling alley, too. But what are y'all favorite sourcing methods? Tactical, arbitrage, storefront, stalking, keeper, product finder. This man for the brew came in late, but he said better late than never.
He said, what are your favorite sourcing methods? Tactical arbitrage. My favorite, to be all right. So honestly, my favorite sourcing method is that's a tough question, bro. Because I mean, as far as like fun, being able to meet people hands on, retail arbitrage. But when it comes down to like scaling and running a business, online arbitrage. You know, for the simple fact that, you know, it's just like more so when I'm on the ground and I go inside a retail store, I got an opportunity. For one, it's you know, it's not a bad activity. You know, I get what they call retail therapy. Like if I go inside of a mall or if I go inside of a store and I find, you know, it's kind of fun sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I could be a relationship with people, actual people. But when it comes down to like building a business, I gotta say online arbitrage is definitely the favorite because, you know, the better you get at online arbitrage, the closer you'll be to being able to run your business remotely from the beach and, you know, really not have to deal with anybody. Some people don't even like dealing with people. I don't necessarily like dealing with people all the time, but I like to build relationships, you know what I'm saying? Because if, you know, I like to build relationships for that matter.
I got you. I got you. Well, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I always love going live. We had a great conversation. I'll actually keep it up maybe for tonight, and then so for y'all that who didn't catch it, I'll probably keep it up, and then I'll probably take it down tomorrow once I download it. But I appreciate you, Bam. This is a great conversation. Anybody want to learn about e-commerce, drop shipping, arbitrage, which is retail, online, street? Did I miss one?
No, that's it. Retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, street arbitrage.
Yep. Yeah. Retail, online, street. I feel like, man, I feel like retail, man, that's where you always be posting about the retail. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not always easy to post the online stuff because it's like two buttons. I'm already there. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, bro, like I'm working on it, bro. You know, I'm definitely working on it. Like putting a lot of videos up. Like are these tools I named. I got to make some videos. You know, when I get the time, I got to put some videos up to show people, you know, why I like to use these tools and how to use them. But for the most part, it's like it's not as easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's a little fun when you go inside the store and the people encourage you. Like they see me there all the time. They encourage you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like they follow me on Instagram too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, more so fun, bro. Honestly, I'm having fun when I'm inside them stores most of the time, bro. Cause I'm in the house a lot, or I'm in the house a lot. I'm in the car a lot. So when I get a chance to walk around and smile and talk to people, bro, I'm trying to make as much fun out of that as possible.
that's the real deal life of an entrepreneur, though. In the house a lot, in the car a lot. I guess we'll end it on that. But I'm getting tired, bro. So I'm about to get off of here.
Me
And
too.
I appreciate you, man. Until next time.
All
Peace.
right, G Staino. I'll talk to you later, my brother. Nice
All right,
conversation.
Bam. Bamazon.
Sir.